on? Ryan Cooper! Oh, baby, wake up! Ma'am. Hello? What is going on? I think my husband's been shot! There's blood all over him! Oh, I don't know if somebody's here! My kids are here! Kate, lock the door!
Karina's frantic call reported that her husband, Ryan Cooper, had been shot. On the line, her voice trembled, breaths breaking apart, sobs spilling out in jagged waves. It sounded exactly like the terror you'd expect from a woman who had just walked in on her husband bleeding out. But when deputies arrived only minutes later, the scene waiting for them inside the living room told a very different story. Ryan Cooper was slumped back in a recliner, 2 close-range gunshot wounds to his face. There was no forced entry, no overturned furniture, no signs of a struggle, no weapon anywhere near him. Only one thing lay on the floor, a single .22 caliber casing, small, lonely, and chillingly deliberate. Then came the detail that unsettled investigators more than anything else. Karina wasn't kneeling beside him attempting CPR. She wasn't frantically trying to save his life. Instead, she sat on his lap, drenched in his blood, motionless, as though frozen inside a scene she already understood too well. To the deputies, nothing about the room suggested chaos or intrusion. It felt staged, deliberate. What first appeared to be a horrific, random tragedy began shifting into something far more controlled, and the spotlight soon narrowed onto Karina herself. What unfolded next pushed this case from confusion into suspicion, and suspicion into what detectives would later describe as a calculated killing. As investigators dug deeper, the clean surface of this marriage began to crack. Hidden communications emerged. Deleted messages resurfaced. A secret relationship, late-night online searches, and a string of texts sent just hours before the shooting slowly stitched themselves into a damning timeline. It became the portrait of a marriage strained to its breaking point, and an affair woven from fantasy and escape. Prosecutors would argue that the plan had been quietly forming for months. And when Karina stepped into the interrogation room, every attempt to maintain control began to falter. The psychological seams split open, revealing the truth investigators had suspected from the moment they walked into that unnervingly quiet living room.
Last night, your daughter was kind of fussy and wasn't going to bed, so between 10 and midnight.
She went to sleep fine. She, every once in a while, has like, I don't even want to call them night terrors, but it was like she was having a bad dream. So she was kind of fussing in her sleep. She wouldn't wake up, and so I was just kind of up in between reading my book with her, and I know it was close to midnight before I put it down.
Okay. Anything else kind of off or just strange about last night?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay. So you fall asleep between midnight. You think that you get up around 3 because that's your kind of your usual
normal time.
Okay. And then you go back to bed.
I shut the door. The kids are in there. I went back to sleep.
Okay.
And I didn't feel like I was like hard asleep when there was it sounded like something crashed in the kitchen. It sounded like something falling, which seems to happen a lot in that house. But the house is torn apart right now because we're working on it. I've got stuff sitting everywhere.
Okay.
It was loud.
Like help me out here. Was it?
So we have a wire rack in the shower, and it's on a suction hook thing, and it fell a couple days ago, and it was loud, and it sounded just like that. Not just like that, but loud like that, like a racket.
So no sounds of like glass breaking or anything like that. Just kind of a loud, like you said, a ruckus.
Yes.
Okay. And that woke you up, or that?
It scared me.
Okay.
Kind of laid there for a second. See if kids woke up, which they didn't. It seems like there's always something stupid once a week that him and I get up and see because of the highway or something. I got up and I peeked in the living room and he was laying there, and I went to the kitchen and turned the light on in the living room, and then
Okay.
I looked in there first before I went to the kitchen, and it looked like he was sleeping.
Okay.
I swear I heard him snore.
Did you happen to see him when you got up to go to the bathroom? Did you happen to see him there then? Do you remember?
You have to look around the corner to see him.
Okay, so you didn't go and see him at that time? Okay.
He went to the bathroom.
Okay. So you said that you get up, you hear the noise, you wait there for a minute, you get up, and you go out, you see him sitting there, then you go and turn on the light to the kitchen?
I went in the kitchen, there's always a light on in there, so they didn't turn on the light. I went in the kitchen and looked out the window over the sink
Okay.
towards the driveway, looked around the living room or the kitchen. There's nothing on our walls anywhere because we've been painting and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see anything, so I went in and I don't know if I said his name or not.
Okay.
I turned on the light and it didn't look like he was sleeping.
So when you turn on did you turn the light on in the living room there?
The table lamp, yeah.
The table lamp?
I scared my kids so bad.
Yeah. So when you turn on the light, what exactly do you remember seeing?
It just looked like he was sleeping.
Okay.
And then I walked up to him to touch his foot. There's blood, like, everywhere. Like, a lot. I started screaming, like, a lot.
Okay.
But I knew I scared the kids because Kate came running down. I don't know what I thought. I thought somebody was in the house. I put them in my bedroom and told them to lock the door.
When Karina recounts the moment she heard the noise, something subtle but telling appears. She doesn't just say, "I heard a sound." She rushes to wrap that sound in an innocent story. Before the detective can even ask what she thought it was, she volunteers a ready-made explanation, a suction cup wire rack in the shower that had fallen days earlier. In her version, the gunshot sounded just like that. Then almost immediately she backtracks. Not just like that, loud like that. This is preemptive normalization, a reflex people use when they need to downgrade the importance of a critical moment. She's trying to rebrand the noise as something familiar, routine, the kind of nuisance that happens in that house all the time. The unspoken message is clear. If the sound was ordinary, then my reaction was ordinary. But that excuse falls apart the second you compare it to reality. Ryan was shot twice in the face. 2 rounds mean 2 separate, violent blasts. A wire rack hitting tile is a single chaotic clatter, metal scrapes, rattles, bounces. Gunfire is nothing like that. It's sharp, instantaneous, and unmistakable. Her quick correction, just like that. Not just like that, but loud like that, is the kind of verbal retreat people make when they hear their own story and realize it doesn't quite sound believable. The wire rack anecdote doesn't feel like a genuine memory. It feels like an excuse for why she didn't react with panic. Because if she truly heard 2 gunshots inside her own home, her behavior should have been very different. And if it wasn't, she now needs a reason why. Watch how often she insists that he looked like he was sleeping. He looked like he was sleeping. It just looked like he was sleeping. He was reclined in the chair, blanket over him. It looked like he was sleeping. That kind of repetition usually serves 2 purposes. First, self-comfort. She may be trying to reassure herself that she didn't overlook the obvious signs of a fatal injury. Second, image control. She wants investigators to see her as a wife who had no reasonable way to suspect anything was wrong until the last possible moment. But the more she clings to the same line, the less it sounds like a memory, and the more it sounds like a rehearsed thesis she's determined to sell.
You said you tried to touch his foot, or you touched his foot to try to wake him up?
I think so. That's usually what I do, is shake his toe.
Okay. So let me backtrack. When you see him for the very first time, he's sitting in the chair like he's sleeping.
He's reclined in the chair and looks like he's sleeping.
Okay. And
Blankets on him.
where's the blanket on him? Like over him? Like over his chest?
Yeah.
Okay.
His feet always stay up. I swear he was snoring.
Okay. So, when you notice it, obviously, you see the large amount of blood, and you realize that something's wrong, right? Do you make any attempt at, do you touch him? Do you?
I crawled on him. I hit him. I think I was shaking him and screaming in his face to wake up.
Okay.
He fell on the floor next to him because I think he slipped. And I think I was hitting him.
You think you were hitting
I
him?
think I kept hitting him, trying to get him to wake up.
Like-
Shaking him.
Okay.
Holding his face.
Like hitting his chest?
I don't know, grabbing his shirt or his face. To wake up.
Okay.
When Karina reaches the moment she discovers the blood, her entire style of storytelling changes. After long stretches of uncertainty, hedging, and I think and I don't know, she suddenly shifts into a vivid cinematic scene. There's blood everywhere. I crawled on him. I think I kept hitting him, shaking him, screaming in his face to wake up. It's a strikingly visual sequence, crawling over his body, hitting him, screaming. It's the kind of dramatic imagery that resonates emotionally with a jury or an interviewer who wants to see raw grief. But inside that emotional performance, something is conspicuously absent. She never mentions doing anything that could actually save his life. No CPR, no attempt to check for breathing, no search for a pulse. And instead of dialing 911 first, she calls Aaron, her brother-in-law. Reaching out to a family member before calling emergency services is highly unusual, unless the caller already believes there's no chance of survival or is intentionally delaying any chance of help. What first responders later described fits that pattern. They saw plenty of distress, tears, and chaos, but almost no concrete effort to help the man bleeding in the chair. The emotion was loud. The life-saving actions were almost silent.
So you said you thought that maybe somebody was in the house?
That's what I thought.
Did you hear any other sounds or commotions or anything other than the one that woke you up?
No, nothing.
Like,
Cars go by all time of the night, but I didn't see it. I looked out the kitchen window. I didn't see anything.
okay. No sounds of like the front door slamming shut or
No,
anyone running down your deck or down your steps or anything like that?
no, nothing.
Okay. Okay. So, after trying to wake him up or get his attention, you said you called Aaron?
I called Aaron before. Well, I touched him or whatever. And then I just remember I started screaming and screaming. And Kate came down. That's when I told him to get in my room with the other two kids, and I called Aaron from in there.
Inside the room?
Yeah, I think I locked the bedroom. I was in and out. I went in and locked it, and then I thought I had to go call Brian. I didn't know somebody was there. I tried to get my stupid gun that I don't even know how to work and have never shot out of the safe that he said we had to have, and I couldn't even get the thing open. It's in our bedroom closet.
Okay. And how big of a safe is it? Just a little?
Just a one security type handgun safe that I don't even know how to open.
Okay. And
So
you couldn't get it open?
I don't think so.
Did you ever actually get the gun out of the safe?
No.
Okay.
I touched the safe, I think, because it's some stupid fingerprint thing, I think, and I put my finger on it and nothing happened, and I was screaming, and
Okay.
I called Aaron. He said he was on his way, and I went back out.
Okay.
I told the kids to stay in the room, but they wouldn't, so I kept going back in there to take them in because I didn't want them to see.
Yeah.
And I was scared. I didn't know if somebody was there.
Okay. So nothing out of the ordinary with Ryan's behavior yesterday? Okay.
Perfectly normal day.
What about in the last few days or like the last week? Is there anything out of the ordinary with him or maybe between the two of you or anything like that? No.
Better than we have been in a while. Kids are finally getting older and we can breathe again.
Yeah.
He's got a lot on his plate right now with the shops going up, and his mom passed away a year ago, so some shift in responsibilities with the farm, but
Is his dad still with us?
yeah.
Okay. Other than Aaron, how many siblings does he have?
He's got a sister and aunts
Okay.
that's about 10 years older than him.
What's her name?
Michelle
Michelle. Is it Cooper? Is she still?
Wilson.
Wilson? Okay.
He just works. He's been side dressing and bailing. He's busy. We both are always going or working, not really going. If I'm not with the kids, I'm working. I have a side business and I make soap and stuff. We just work and stay home.
Okay. You mentioned that things have been better now recently than they were in the past.
Not that they've been bad. We're just finally getting to spend some time together again and not have a child all the time on top of us.
Yeah.
Never been bad.
No real issues between the two of you? Okay.
We didn't get married till we were mid-30s. We've been through all that garbage.
Yeah.
We had plans.
Plans for what?
Just everything.
Okay.
We wanted to buy a lake house. We were gonna last year and it didn't work out. And then the ratio hit. And we decided that it was a blessing in disguise because then we were putting up a shop sooner than we thought. And we'd wait a few years. Just had plans. We're 40 years old and we still have a 4-year-old, and we just joked all the time about hoping that we were alive long enough to retire.
Has there been any marital issues between the two of you?
We had a rough patch shortly after his mom passed away where we just weren't we were getting along. There
Right.
wasn't any real issue. We were just both sad and mad and not
Yeah.
communicating. And
And isn't it something how the ones you love the most, those are the ones sometimes you treat the worst
I'm a
sometimes?
talker and he's not, and I was always pushing the, breathe, whatever, talk, and
Yeah,
he shuts down, and
okay.
nothing where there was ever any doubt about our marriage.
Okay, so no affairs of any kind?
No,
By
no.
him or by you, and the only reason I ask is if someone went in and did something to him, and again, we don't know, could be that, could be medical, we don't know. I'm just thinking about like the scorned lover type of thing or anything
Never.
like that.
No.
Okay, so there's no
We
no
don't
concerns
go
with that for
anywhere,
you?
we don't do anything. He might go to the bar after work with his friend Riley, and he's never home past 8. That's how exciting we are. It's like
We're
I
the
said,
same way.
we weren't talking and getting along, but we finally talked it out, and there was never,
Never any issues like that?
never.
Okay,
I know I never worried about it. I don't think either one. It's just, like I said, he's been divorced. We got married in our 30s.
to rehash things, just to make sure, you hear this noise, you get up, you think at the time it sounded very similar to the wire rack that had fallen in the shower a couple days earlier, but you went around, didn't see anything, hear anything unusual, didn't hear any cars speeding away, didn't hear any talking or communicating that was going on inside the house at all.
Nothing.
Is it a 1-story, 2-story home?
Story and a half.
Story and a half. And you didn't see anybody flee or anything like that?
No.
Nothing that gave you concern that at least someone was still in the home? Or did you think at the time someone was in there?
I don't know. I was just nervous, just scared.
Okay.
I don't really feel like I thought anybody was in the house until I saw him.
Okay.
And I saw blood. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I just started screaming.
Okay.
As Rick said earlier, we don't know what happened. Like he said, we don't know if this is a medical thing. We don't know if something bad happened or if something did something to Ryan. And that's obviously what we're trying to figure out. One of the questions I have is, do you know anyone that would have any reason to hurt him?
No.
Has he had any issues with anybody?
No, nobody. He doesn't hurt anybody.
Okay. I know you said that he is usually home by 8 o'clock, but sometimes goes to the bar with Riley.
Once in a while, yeah.
Has he talked about maybe somebody he ran into at the bar that maybe there was... I guess I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. If anyone
No.
is going to come into your house and do something to him,
Nobody.
can't think of anybody?
Everybody loves him.
Okay.
As Karina works to distance herself from the gun, the detectives quietly probe the other side of the triangle: motive. When they ask if anything had been off with Ryan, she murmurs a single word: nothing. Then, without pausing, she paints a wholesome portrait of family life. The kids are growing up. Both parents are working hard. She mentions her soap business. Life is busy, stressful, but in her telling, the stress never truly touches the marriage. When they press specifically on the relationship, she polishes it even further. She says things have been better than they've been in a while, insists it's never been bad, and talks about shared dreams. A lake house, retirement, a future they were planning together. Real long-term marriages under strain usually have sharp edges, specific arguments, concrete grievances, not just a pleasant highlight reel. Yet Karina offers only vague, rough times and no real conflict. A second detective tries a different approach. He normalizes marital problems, opening a safe door for honesty, resentment, fights, even affairs. It's an invitation to admit something difficult without losing face. Karina chooses the safest ground possible. She mentions a short, rough patch after Ryan's mother died, blames grief and poor communication, and quickly reassures them there was never any doubt about the marriage itself. Then comes the crucial question: so no affairs of any kind? Her answer is immediate. No pause, no softening. A blunt, categorical no that locks her into a version of the marriage that is calm, faithful, and completely conflict-free. When investigators ask who might want to harm Ryan, she shuts that door as well. In her narrative, he has no enemies, no grudges, no serious problems with anyone. Everyone loves him. No work conflicts, no personal feuds, nothing. By the end of this stretch, she has carefully erased every conceivable motive. She claims she couldn't get to the gun. The marriage was solid. There was no affair. Ryan had no enemies. If you accept all of that at face value, the only explanation left is a ghost. An intruder who walked into a rural home, shot a man twice in the face, stole nothing, disturbed nothing, forced nothing open, and vanished without leaving a trace. That isn't just unlikely. It's functionally impossible. And when a story becomes impossible, investigators stop examining the story and start examining the storyteller.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Houston?
Danker?
Yeah.
He's my friend.
Okay. And I'm going to be blunt with you and be forward with you. The only reason we ask is Aaron made mention about maybe Ryan seeing something on your Snapchat. Not that that was Houston, but maybe there was something with your Snapchat.
Last fall, there was a Snapchat that wasn't even meant for me.
Okay, tell me about that.
Supposedly. Ryan saw it, not me. And he told me about it. It was something about a married woman and naked, seeing her naked or something like that.
Okay.
And Ryan saw it and confronted me, and I confronted Houston, who were friends on Snapchat, and that's it.
So
And he swore up and down to both of us that it wasn't intended for me. And that was the end of it.
So Houston sent us. I guess I'm not familiar with Snapchat. I don't use it.
Not a picture, Ryan took a picture of the, message that he sent through Snapchat about something about being a married woman or something. I barely even saw it because I didn't know what the hell it was.
Okay.
And he swore up and down it wasn't meant for me.
Houston.
And we had snapped each other earlier in the day that day because he got some product from my salon.
Okay.
So he said that he sent it to the wrong person.
So, I guess.
This is dumb.
Well, we're trying to get to the bottom of dumb.
My God.
We're just making sure that all the questions are answered. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it a situation where Houston sends a snap to you that's not supposed to go to you?
Supposedly.
That
He did send a snap to me, yes.
that is about you being a married woman or naked with a married woman?
Don't know.
You don't know. Well, what does Ryan say about that?
We've talked about it since then. We've talked about it with friends. That's how non-issue it became after we talked about it. That said something about, remember, I've seen you naked, and something about a married woman.
Has Houston seen you naked?
No! God, no!
Okay.
He's 22 years old.
Oh,
No!
to each their own. I'm just.
Stupid town and their rumors. No!
Okay.
I cut his hair.
Okay.
I watched his kids a couple times when his babysitter flaked.
Okay.
Oh my God.
We don't know unless we ask. Right? So, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but it's safe to say that nothing is going on between you and Houston.
Absolutely not. After that Snapchat, I don't even talk. I don't cut his hair anymore. I told Ryan I would just keep a distance from everybody, from him, from his brother, from anybody related in that age group,
Okay.
to make him feel better. And it's been a non-issue since then.
And this was, you said last fall. Get a better time frame on that?
This snap was not last fall. It was more like this spring or late winter.
Okay. Okay.
Last fall is when I was supposedly horsing around with him because I babysat his kids and his truck was at my house because I babysat his kids. That's what all that stupid Houston Danker stuff started with.
Okay.
We're friends. Ryan didn't like him. They don't fundamentally get along. So as his wife, I said, I'm not his friend anymore. Or cutting his hair, just keep a distance. And it was over, it was done.
Okay. When's the last time you socially interacted with Houston? Or cut his hair or anything like that?
Last fall,
Okay.
I don't talk to him. He asked me to watch his kids one time. Might have, I don't know if it was last fall or this spring, because it was field work, and I said no, that Ryan wasn't comfortable with it, but Amber, my friend Amber, would be more than willing to, and he called her, and she became his babysitter.
Okay.
That's the last I've spoke with him.
And what's Amber's last name?
Monit.
Monit?
M-O-N-A-T.
Okay. Like I said, we get information and sometimes we have to ask stupid questions.
So dumb.
Okay.
Up to this point, the detectives have let Karina talk with relatively little direct confrontation. Then they change tactics and introduce what interrogators call a stimulus, a specific detail designed to provoke a genuine, uncontrollable reaction. In this case, it's just a name, Houston Danker. What can you tell me about your relationship with Houston, Danker? Karina's immediate move is to stall. She echoes the last name back, Danker, as if she needs clarification, as if Houston is just one of many people she might know with that name. That tiny delay buys her mind a second to recalibrate. Then she quickly slaps a label on him, my friend. By defining him that way, she's trying to draw the boundary of the relationship herself before the detectives can redraw it into something more dangerous. When the detective brings up Erin and the Snapchat, that Ryan may have seen something on her account, he plays a very specific card. He doesn't say we think there was an affair. He says Ryan's own brother mentioned it. This is a form of triangulation, an evidence bluff anchored in family. By telling Karina that people closest to Ryan are already talking about the affair, he signals that her grieving widow image is cracking exactly where it matters most. Her response to the Snapchat allegation is a textbook truth with that twist. She admits to the incident, but reframes it in a way that makes it sound innocent. A message about a naked married woman that she claims was mistakenly sent to her. It's a highly unlikely explanation, but psychologically it serves a purpose. It acknowledges the conflict investigators already know exists, while denying the infidelity that could explain a motive for murder. Then her emotion shifts. Stupid town and their rumors. In an instant, the crying widow becomes an outraged accuser. She rolls her eyes at gossip, calls the questions dumb, and blames small-town talk. This is an aggressive form of deflection. When someone feels their narrative slipping away, anger and irritation can become weapons, meant to shame the interrogator into backing off, as if the real offense is not the murder, but the insult of questioning her. She insists she doesn't talk to Houston, doesn't cut his hair, isn't his friend anymore. It was over. It was done. In doing so, she steps into a classic trap called overdenial. She doesn't just deny an affair. She declares the entire relationship dead, cut off completely, supposedly to protect her marriage. But if investigators already have phone records or witnesses showing contact after the date she claims it ended, even one later text or visit can rip her credibility apart. By the end of this exchange, Karina is working hard to erase Houston as a threat to her story. She recasts their interactions as harmless, downplays the Snapchat incident as meaningless, and portrays growing suspicion as nothing but gossip. But the detectives aren't just listening to her words, they're watching her reactions. And the moment she hears the name Houston Danker, her tone, posture, and emotional baseline all change. Later that same day, they bring Houston in, not to accuse him outright, but to see what his answers will reveal about the murder and about Karina.